What's up out there? Let's see if the latency will let me play. I tried recording a video earlier and my latency shot up to like 200 milliseconds and I just couldn't even play. It's like at 8 o'clock at night, my time, every night, the game gets horrible and it either lasts for a while or I don't know, it gets super frustrating. The latency gets miserable to play to the point where sometimes you're just staring at single frames go by. It's horrible. And then I can't remember what happened. I logged out with one character one night and logged in with a different character and everything was cool. But as soon as I logged in with the other character again, it went back to crap. So I don't understand why it would be character based unless I was on a different server or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, I've been fighting a lot of latency issues later in the evening, like early day, midday, early evening. It's all fine. And then, about 8 o'clock every day. And I don't know what's so special about 8 o'clock, but for some reason that it just gets terrible. And you'd think like weekends would be bad, during the day or something when everybody's off, but it doesn't appear to be. It's just like a specific time of an evening. I thought maybe it's something wrong with my internet provider or something. I don't know, whatever. It gets super frustrating and it's miserable to play. But it's been going well for the last few minutes, so I thought I'd try to do a video. Basically, we've got that Misery Gauntlet coming in tomorrow, and I wanted to just kind of jump out and do a quick update video on a couple of things first before we take a break. And that was pretty much what I was coming in here to do. And then I was recording and I went into one of those glacier maps and it was just horribly laggy and I just couldn't get any further with it. So I was like, all right, I got to quit. But anyway, so I have been working on, let me first and foremost back up a second. We've got this Misery Gauntlet tomorrow. I am all set up and ready to go for it. It sounds like it's going to be atrocious. It is hardcore SSF, which means if you die, you have to start over. So probably going to be going through a lot of characters. I am doing Bone Shatter for that. I might do this Perforate for a little bit. I did like the Perforate skill going through the campaign. After the campaign, it's kind of, it's not great. I might use this for a little bit. I don't know. From what I understand, when you die, whatever's in your stash is still there. You just start a new character and come up to it. So we'll see. I'll probably try Bone Shatter out at some point. You have to use something to level up to Bone Shatter. So you could use Sunder. I can't remember what we start off with typically, but I know Perforate's one of the ones that you can start off with at like level 1. So I might tinker with that for a little bit and see how that goes. But anyway, that's not why we're here. I've been tinkering with this build a little bit. As far as gear, I have got a better axe in here, which this one gives me a chance to bleed and increase damage with bleed. I think I don't know if I worked these hemophilias in last time or not, but I definitely worked those in here. And I now have a 6-link. What I did is I found this along the way somewhere. This is not, I would prefer to have armor evasion. This is armor energy shield, which is not exactly what I wanted, but it is a 6-link and it did turn all red. I didn't realize this was strength X or whatever, or I guess it's strength int, but I'm probably reading it wrong because of the gems that are socketed in here. But I think this is a strength int and it went all red on me earlier. So I was like, cool, I'm just going to leave it at that. I think I was trying to get like one green in there, but basically we're running Perforative Bloodshed with multi-strike, brutality, melee fizz, damage support, life tap, and chance to bleed. I am so low on mana. I have to run life tap. That's just like, I can't, it just doesn't work otherwise. But the rest of this is basically the same. And this, if you don't remember, this started life as the started life is something different completely, but I worked a Lacerate build with Axe and Shield worked Perforate into a Lacerate build is probably the better way of saying that. So this Reckoning, Life Tap, Pulverize, and Life Gain on Hit is all from that build. Same thing with the way this shield is set up, life tapping stuff. I mean, it's low on mana anyway, so you have to basically life tap certain things. But that's the reason this build is here, and that's because this is a gladiator. I think I'm supposed to take something different. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know at this point. It's been so long since I've looked at this, but this is the passive tree that I'm following is basically a lacerate build. I figured it looked like it was already doing a bunch of bleed stuff with bloodletting and crimson dance already in it. So I thought it was going to be a pretty good base to go by, and it's a lot better. It's not great, but it's a lot better. I did learn in POB how to get it to suggest where to go on the passive tree, and it wants me to come up here for Veteran Soldier, which I can actually anoint onto my amulet. I got smart and realized that what was I using? The martial experience over here is for two-handed weapons, and I'm using a single-handed weapon. So fortunately, this Onyx Amulet does not, or this Carnage Heart does not have that on there. I've swapped that off a long time ago, but I was thinking about it. I'm like, I need to put something else on there. And POB actually recommended me come over here to Veteran Soldier, which is like 9 nodes away, which is more than I care to spend, but it thinks Veteran Soldier is a good upgrade, which it is. So I'm going to try to get that anointed on. I don't have one of the oils I need for it, so I tried converting some to get it, but I have 2 of the 3, not the 3rd. But there was something else that was way over on the tree here. I don't remember where it was. It was like off in this range over here, something way over there that was like really good, but it was so far out of the way it wasn't worth getting. And then, I don't know, 2 or 3 down on the list from this Veteran Soldier was like number 2 on the list, and then a few down from that was coming over here into Vanquisher. So it recommended me coming around the corner here down this side here, which gives damage over time multipliers, and then 40% increased fizz damage. So we'll be coming over into that. I'm trying to level up and get that point there. I did level up a few times, so I think I don't remember if I pulled some points off of something. It might have been this build. One of them came over here into this into vigor and savagery and stamina over here. I might have robbed those points to come over into this area here, which I don't know if I'm taking something good for something bad. I'm not sure, but I wanted to try this out. I know that I can come back into these later as I gain levels. I just wanted to try to get this in here. And the other thing I learned, as far as I can tell, if you have the fortified gem socketed in, you don't need to come into this fortify section. But if you take that gem out, you do want to come into this fortify section and take this mastery that makes melee hits fortify. So I think this is good. So I think I don't think I need the fortify gem in here, which is why that's not in here. It was showing me that multi-strike and melee fizz, chance to bleed, these are all better than whatever I had. And like I said, I needed life tap, so that is what it is. But it was kind of cool learning that, I thought this would go hand in hand with that gem, but this is like separate. So you can either use the gem for fortify, or you can use this to get fortify. And I thought, all right, that's cool. So I learned that. I also was working with Seismic Cry, and it's supposed to, what's the word for it? It's an E word. It is definitely an E word. So Seismic Slam is supposed to exert. I kept wanting to say elevate. It's supposed to exert perforative bloodshed, but it doesn't. And I couldn't figure out why. I had to do some research on it. Apparently, if you equip multi-strike, this Seismic Cry no longer exerts perforate. So if I take multi-strike out, this exert does not do anywhere near the damage that this multi-strike does. So learn something there, and then the rest of this is kind of about the same as it was. This is the lacerate deal, and it is what it is. So I don't know, it's running fairly well. It's better than it was. I wouldn't say this is a great build by any stretch of the imagination. I did try a little bit of lacerate for a while. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of lacerate. I don't particularly care for it. I like this better, and this feels better. Now, maybe I'm not exactly following all the gear and everything, and maybe it would be better if I did, but just swapping that out and making sure that the gems are in place, just it didn't feel any better. I didn't care for it as much, but in the course of testing that out, I equipped this Blood and Sand. If I switch this over, let's see, we're doing 8,008 DPS here. If I switch that over to sand mode, this goes to 6,362. So I didn't think about equipping this Blood and Sand, which I think I put over here. And this thing's only level 5. It's slowly leveling up. But I didn't think about equipping this. I knew it existed, but I didn't think about equipping it because Perforative Bloodshed is already in blood mode. So you don't switch back and forth. But I didn't consider putting on this as it's a stance or whatever, but it's kind of an aura, the way it's handled. You basically go into this blood stance, and I know it's not an aura, but you go into this blood stance, and it's supposed to deal more damage with melee attacks, deal more area damage with melee attacks, and have less area of effect with the melee attacks. So I can put this on. This actually does impact my damage. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought I was up a little bit further on that. I thought I was at 89 or something like that. I don't know what changed. But at any rate, oh, maybe it was because I took that, whatever. I don't know. I've got an extra socket in here. That Seismic Cry didn't work out, so I ended up dropping that. But I've kind of just been taking it easy this week, kind of tinkering around. I spent a lot of time, because we got that thing tomorrow, that gauntlet. But I spent a lot of time. I got to kill whatever that one thing is in the Wildwood that's got that big circle or dome around it. I can't find the thing. I spent, I don't know, a good 50 maps loading into the Wildwood trying to find it. I can't get him to spawn. I can find like 2 of the 4 event areas, but they're either something that gives me like blue or yellow wisps or something like that, like the little ball of them that gives you a bunch of them, or it's the vendor. Like when I want the vendor, I can't find it. When I need this stupid thing to finish this quest and move on, I can't. But I've got some nice stuff in here, like gain 10 life bleeding on a bleeding enemy, projectiles. Yeah, projectiles doesn't matter. But then like this one's got +5 to armor and evasion per 1% chance to block attack damage. I thought that would go good with this shield because I do have a chance to block. Hits ignore enemy monster physical damage reduction if you blocked in the past 20 seconds. So I thought that would be kind of cool. Why did I have this one on here? Maybe I just didn't throw that in my inventory. That might be why that one's sitting there. I just may not have dropped it off. But anyway, I need to kill that one boss. It's something simple that you can get to early, but it's for whatever reason not spawning on it. But at any rate, I've been tinkering around with this build this week, and let me show you something else. So here I am sitting here with my Slayer, what was a Bone Shatter Slayer build. I really didn't know what to do with it, and I was kind of looking around at other builds that there are, and I checked out Cyclone. I like Cyclone a lot. Let's just run... I'll just run one of these glacier maps. I've got a bunch of these things in here. Where are we at? It's tier 8. Got a whole bunch of these set in here. We'll just alk and go if I can actually hit the target. So we should be okay. Shouldn't have a problem. Run this. I just been running these. They're easy for currency and stuff. I've been leveling up my other build with that. So it's why it's easy to pick. I don't know. This build's got some issues. It's definitely not where it needs to be because I basically took a Bone Shatter build and smashed it into Cyclone. So I've had some growing pains on this. Like I have no experience with this build at all. I just kind of slammed the skill gem into it, looked at it for a little bit and said, hey, this is very awesome. Let's just work on it. So yeah, I think I want to try this next league. I did get my passive tree reworked quite a bit, and I need to, I put like 50 regret orbs into making it this way. I got to put a jewel over there, but I lost all my life leech and mana leech and stuff like that, so I had to life tap some of this stuff over to it. There's still some things I need to regret off, but I ran out of regret orbs. Whatever build that I'm following, I'm going to try to look around and see if I can find a better build or one that's, I don't know. This one goes up to like level 90 and then it switches over to putting stuff in the jewel socket. So I went back to that large jewel that I had with the martial prowess and the battlefield dominator, threw some jewels in there and kind of just went away. This is not great by any means. And it doesn't play that well in some regards, but in other regards, I get to actually see what this is and kind of tinker with it. Level up Cyclone a little bit. It's got like infused channeling. Yeah, we died. I don't know why we died there, but we died. So it's basically my Bone Shatter Slayer build, But with Cyclone, Close Combat, Infused Channeling, Impale, and Life Tap. If I had a 6-link for it, I could do Brutality, but is what it is. We don't have Iron Reflexes, so I do have another 6-link I could use in here, but I don't know that it would be one that I would want to use because this is Evasion and Energy Shield, so this might be difficult, although maybe not. That's just 3 greens, a blue, and 2 reds, so I could probably get that there. I don't know. We'll see if I can get, I don't know. I'm just kind of playing around with it at this point, but I do like this. I do like this Cyclone. This is a fun build. It's mobile. Like, this is super mobile. And with Life Tap, if I have health regen, am I like, can't be stunned. Like, it should be okay. We should be fine. I should have plenty of regen. It doesn't, it's kind of acting like I don't. Oh, but I don't, I have, I don't know. I have some bad resistances in here too. So this is basically a kludge together build. It's not great at all. What are my resistances in here? 40% lightning res. It's not bad. It's all good. It's fine. So yeah, I've got some things to work out, but that's because I made some changes and I just haven't vetted all the changes out. I just wanted to tinker with it. I've been running kind of lower level maps just to see how it goes. Mostly working some of the kinks out. Like I needed the, what are we at? Level 15 Cyclone. So I've been playing it a little bit. I tried running a Labyrinth to try to get a different one of the gems. And see, there's that lag. Look at that latency. You just can't even move. It's ridiculous. This is what I have to put up with of an evening. It's horrendous. I can't even log out. The only thing I can, well, I mean, I can log out. Actually, I can't. I have to exit the game. So when this 14,000 latency. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, that will do it for this video. I like Cyclone. I'm tinkering with it. It is fun. And I don't know. I'll have to close this video out because I got to kill the game. But at any rate, been tinkering around with Impale, been tinkering around with my Slayer build, turning it into Cyclone, just tinkering around. Oh my God. And I'm dead. That's great. It's just unbelievable how horrible this latency gets for some reason, and I have no idea what causes it. It just locks the entire game up and I can't do anything. There was one night I couldn't even move my loot out of my inventory. I'd click on it and it would just sit there. It gets excruciating. And it only does this after 8 o'clock at night on me. So whatever. But anyway, like I said, I'm really enjoying this. I might actually do Bone Shatter next league as well as Cyclone. And I definitely want to do Bone Shatter. Juggernaut, that's supposed to be really good for Delve. I need to work on getting further into Delve, but I can't play it with 14,000 latency. That's not going to happen. But Cyclone, I think, is supposed to be halfway decent for single targets and stuff like that. I wasn't really planning on doing anything with it this league, but I was kind of tinkering with it and then just messing around with my passive tree. I had a whole bunch of regret orbs sitting there calling my name to spend. So I kind of tinkered around with this and switched it around a little bit just to see what the actual build was like. Since I already have a level 90, whatever, 6 Slayer that's sitting there ready to go. It just took some passive tree changes. I probably should change some gear and everything, but I don't know. I'm really digging this Cyclone thing, so I really want to check it out when the game is not horribly broken and hard to play. So anyway, that will do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.